And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, I just want to say a quick one before we do get into today's video, because people keep asking me down in the comment section, where is the sort of Rangers studio that you have normally, and basically I'm currently on the road. I have a lighting issue, and still not been able to get a replacement light for the sort of green screen, so at the moment I'm going to have to kind of do it like this, but the show goes on. But guys, I haven't forgot about it. I want to go back in there as much as you do, and as I said, I'll sort it out as soon as possible at the most convenient moment I possibly can. But guys, either way, this is going to still bring you sort of Rangers news, and I've still got quite a few bits and pieces to discuss, as it looks like Rangers could be set to agree their first deal of the January transfer window. Yes, despite us being in November, we're going to go through that, whilst also going through a few other bits and pieces within the Rangers space from the last 24 hours. But let's start with Steven Davis. Steven Davis has actually came out recently and updated Rangers fans on his sort of Rangers future, his injury journey, his sort of coaching role and all the rest of it. Basically, of course, after Michael Beale was sacked, Steven Davis was the interim manager. May be a surprise to some. However, he took charge of those 2 games and then kind of has been in and around the sort of coaching setup for Felipe Clement, in and around that sort of backroom staff, has opened up on his situation, his role. However, he has said that he is confirmed that he's now concentrating fully on his injury rehab after sampling a coaching opportunity from the manager. Basically, this is what he had to say. The manager has been great. It's been great to work alongside him for a couple of weeks and see his ideas. Then ultimately, for me, I have to kind of got the decision to make with my knee. I think first and foremost, I'm 11 months into rehab, albeit the last 4 weeks have been a write-off because of doing the other side and the other role. Ultimately, my knee is not where I want it to be, and I think it's imperative I try and get that right first and foremost. And obviously, I'm old in terms of the playing side of things, but young in terms of life. Hopefully, wherever my career takes me in the future, whether that be coaching, management, or playing, it is really imperative I get my knee right first and foremost. I'm still at the stage that I'm not able to play with the kids in the garden, play football with my son, so I think it's important I get that right. On his experience on managing Rangers in the dugout, Davis added, "It was certainly a whirlwind, a great experience in many ways. You can certainly see how it becomes all-consuming for managers. It's a great taste for something that I might look to do in the future. It was such a turnaround from receiving the phone call, then coming in and trying to prepare. Obviously, I had a lot of messages and different things, and it took me a little bit of time to respond to that. I was coming in and fully focusing on the task in hand. It was long hours and a lot of detail that went in to try and get to the results. When you come in, you realize the responsibility that you were stepping into. I just wanted to give them the best, and I felt like I did." So yeah, Rangers fans, in terms of Steven Davis, it does seem as though his Rangers career is almost pretty much over in terms of a playing capacity. I do think whether he does try and become a player he's gonna go into the sort of coaching role, but there was sort of seeing when it was announced that his contract was up, that he was going to be going into a player coach role. However, at this situation, at this moment in time, it does seem as though he's going to focus on his rehab and then probably go into the coaching side of things. But look, a lot of things can happen. He might don the Rangers jersey one last time, who knows? But yeah, as he said, the main important thing for him now is to focus on his rehabilitation and get his knee straight going forward. So yeah, all the best to Davo there, and a big thank you to him for obviously taking the reins whilst we were without a manager. And I would love to see Steven Davis as a coach in the coming future for sure at Rangers, in the dugout with Felipe Clement. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, as I said, January transfer window is quite far away, guys. We are expected to be making moves in terms of incomings, but the first bit of news, it does seem as though it looks as though it could be a outgoing. Yes, with regards to Adam Devine. Adam Devine, another sort of young player. Obviously, there's been a lot made of Ross McCausland recently with regards to his situation at the football club, and he's really started to impress. He's got his first start at the weekend there against Livingston, and it's something very motivating for young talents. Devine was one of those players last season that I felt was going to be going down a similar path. I genuinely did, in terms of getting the playing time, but unfortunately has James Tavernier at right back competing for his position. Yes, he can play and stand in at left back, but his primary role is at right back, and reports are stating that he could head out on loan in January with something being done. Alan Hutton has also spoke about it and also said that it would be right for him to go out on loan to continue his development. This is what Alan Hutton had to say. Adam Devine is a player who came through the youth setup and plays in the same position as me. He played in a few games last season, and I thought he played very, very well. His one problem is that James Tavernier is the club captain. He's a standout performer. He scored his 112th goal for the club at the weekend, which is quite incredible. So it's always going to be difficult for him. That being said, he's not going to be there forever. So if Divine's not playing at this moment in time, I think he will go out and play football games elsewhere, whether that be in the SPFL or down south in England. He has to get those minutes under his belt, so he's ready to come back and hopefully be ready to be a starter. I think he's got what it takes, but he needs to go out and learn to play. I do agree with Alan Hutton's comments there as well, and as I said, it is stating that reports are stating that Rangers' plan for him is to be shipped out on loan to get that game time come the January transfer window. As I said, it is motivating. Alex Lowry's doing fantastically well, currently out on loan with Hearts, and a similar sort of loan path I think would be good for him. None of these sort of like championship teams where they go to waste or down there into like Ross counties, playing for a top team in the SPFL or going down to sort of League One and really plying your trade, because I still think he has a very, very bright future at the football club. But as Alan Hutton said, he's very unfortunate to have James Tavernier currently in front of him, and added to that, he probably has Dujon Sterling in front of him as well. So yeah, quite a lot of competitions for places at this moment in time, but he does need to continue that development and do go out and get game time. So yeah, I do think it's very imperative he does go out on loan, and if reports are to be true, Rangers are set to agree a loan deal for January for him. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff on that regard for Adam Devine. Glen Kamara has came out and spoke about his sort of transfer exit from Rangers, and basically stated that a former Celtic player helped him with getting a move. He said, the first couple of weeks at Leeds, it was quite hard. I was getting my fitness back. I hadn't played a lot. I was kind of training on my own away from Rangers, so it was quite tough, but it's good now. I'm feeling settled. Yeah, but Pookie messaged me as well. Everyone does their due diligence at all the clubs. He messaged me and had a word with me. He only had good things to say about the manager. I was like, okay, I'm excited, and I spoke to the manager, just confirmed what Pookie said. He was then asked if he would still reply. He said, yeah, with more game time and that, like I said, I had quite an effed up pre-season in itself, and I feel like I'm getting back to myself and playing more games than I have over the last year. Obviously, Glen Kamara is an interesting situation, was kind of exiled. I'm not sure what was going on sort of behind the scenes there, but obviously a player that wasn't a part of Michael Beale's plans in the summer, and it did seem throughout the whole summer transfer window he was going to be leaving the football club. I had nothing but admiration for Glen. I thought he was a great professional for us. Maybe not last season, he wasn't that great at his best, but quite good to see him do really well at Leeds at the moment, which is really fantastic to see on that regard. So fair play to Glen, but that's him opening up on his exit and basically stating that he was training alone, and former Celtic player Pookie helped him get a move to Leeds. So yeah, that's all I've really got for you today, guys. As I said, international is currently ongoing, still a little while yet until Rangers do return for that game against Aberdeen at Pataudry, but certainly still a lot of news coming in and around the football club. As we stated in yesterday's video, Rangers are also close to announcing a director of football, so that announcement should be imminent as well, so we'll certainly find out with regards to that. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on in and behind the scenes, and yeah, I'll continue to keep you up to date throughout this international break. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.